you want to frame up the distinctions? Maybe even start with a CPU briefly, and then GPU, TPU, and LPU.
CPUs, they first became popular in the 70s, and the value of a CPU, why you're using them today, why they become such a big deal, is that they were easy to program. Before CPUs, you physically had to rewire a computer. It took a lot of time, a lot of expertise. You couldn't just download the configuration, you had to rewire them. What GPUs did was, with the same amount of silicon, that thing that I showed you, the chip, while they couldn't do things very fast in a sequence, they could do a lot of dumb operations in parallel. And why that was important was, as we started getting graphical user interfaces, like the buttons that are on your phone in web pages and all that, they made it much easier to use computers, but they were very expensive to render. So you needed these special chips to do that. The LPU, as I mentioned, it doesn't just do computation in parallel, it also does it in a short time period. So it gives you a little bit of both. So when you have a sequence of things, when you have text, when you're trying to complete the next sequence in a genome or in DNA, when you're trying to figure out the next move in a strategy game or the next note in a song, all of that depends on what came before, and you can't do it in parallel. Each pixel on the screen is rendered independently. They don't need to rely on each other. But when it comes to language, every word follows a previous word.
Where ordering matters, when the sequencing matters, that's where the LPU has an advantage over a GPU. A GPU is rendering pixels on the screen, you can parallelize that. But an LPU, the sequence matters.
That's correct.